try to look at the green light when you talk, okay?
Okay.
Well, hey, everyone. It's time for Geocache Talk. Whether you're at work, in the car, or wherever you are, we hope you enjoy the show. Please give it a like and subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, or Google Play so that you can get all the weekly Geocache Talk goodness. Big thanks to the Travel Bugs for the music and my patrons Doug Jones, Joshua and Caleb Slinkard, Tom Brotherman, and Jeff Arbaugh. If you'd like to become a patron, head on over to patreon.com/geocache talk for more details. Patrons get path tags, coins, and other geocaching swag during the year, as well as invites to special events only for patrons. Support levels start as little as $3 a month. Tonight we have news from geocaching.com, how GPS can be dangerous to your health, and our weekly product tip. So let's jump right into show number 8 for Sunday, July 31st. As I welcome my friends Johnny and Danno Pugatch. Welcome to Geocache Talk.
Thanks.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, it's so great for you guys to be on tonight. With we're gonna have a fun night talking about geocaching, and we're gonna first kick it off by Danno, if you want to mention the contest that we're going to have for this week.
Yeah, so if you didn't know, you should know, Johnny is not just a podcaster, but he is a YouTube star.
Yes, he is.
And he has his own YouTube channel, and we made path tags just to celebrate it.
And I also have my own home channel just for kids, YouTube Kids. It's a YouTube just for kids.
Yeah, he watches YouTube Kids app.
Oh, cool.
We talk about that and
It's
hobby kids and all that. But
That's
the
neat.
contest, Johnny and I made a path tag to celebrate our YouTube show, and we're going to give one away to one lucky listener. Now, if you want to win, just email geocachetalk@gmail.com with the subject Johnny. In the body of the email, you want to put the name of our YouTube channel.
Yes, and I will announce the winner next week on the next week's show. So make sure and get your entries in before next Sunday, and I will announce a winner that day. So, all right. Well, we're going to talk about some news. Geocaching news is sponsored by FTF Magazine. FTF Magazine can be found at ftfgeocacher.com. And first thing to note for this week is Mission GC. Today is the end of number 1 mission. And I was able today to get out and to complete that mission. You were saying y'all did yours yesterday, right?
Yeah, I did it yesterday while everyone was still sleeping. I got up about 5 in the morning, and I drove almost an hour north, and I got it. And it was nice because I avenged a DNF. That's
always great.
Always great. And it's like every time I go, there's a letterbox, but not a geocache, because it's at a trading post with like this 80-foot Indian statue. So all the tourists go there. And the ammo can had no swag, so I dumped every bit of swag I had in the car into it, because you have to have swag in the cache.
You're a good geocacher. Yeah. But we've talked about before when I was on Cache Release, we talked about the friend of mine, Dirtywood. He carries when we go geocaching, his pockets are full, and so sure enough, we'll go somewhere, and if there's room for swag, he doesn't take anything. He just unloads his pockets into because he's always he thinks about it kind of like you do. It's like, I don't want. He always tells me, I don't ever want a kid to come to this cache and not have something for them to trade. And that's just a great, such a great way to think about it.
Yeah, Johnny, what happens when we find a geocache and there's nothing in there but a logbook?
Then we put swag inside.
But how do you feel when there's no swag for you?
That's okay. I'm still happy. I just want to keep on going to get more geocaches hits and see if there's any toys.
Yeah. So
Good. That's a good attitude, Johnny,
It
to
is.
have. But it is sad.
it is. I remember, what was it? Friday night? Yeah, Friday night we found 3 geocaches. They were all micros, no swag, and he was very bummed out. We're in the woods. He's like, "Can't we just find one with toys in it?"
I know. So Johnny, do you carry a backpack with you to train with?
Yeah.
Very cool.
I
Very
do
cool.
not. But
Oh.
I do have a backpack. But I think I left it at school. Maybe.
Oh, I hope
I
not.
just don't know where it is.
Oh,
Do you?
okay.
It's in the closet.
Is it okay?
But
Well-
anyway, yeah, let's get back to the.
Yeah. So that was Mission GC. So it'll be interesting to see what happens this week.
Whoa.
Well, another news item, and I kind of kept this one. I've had it for a couple weeks, but Danno, I really wanted to talk about this one with you because one of the items in this article, it talks about somebody in Boston. So,
really?
yeah, this was an article out of the Daily Beast, and we're all familiar with this concept, I guess, or this topic. It's is GPS dangerous to your health? And one of the things it talks about in the article is, are we addicted to GPS? And this addiction can put us in danger. And so a couple items that were in here talk about how people over rely on GPS because they don't either learn where they are or they don't pay attention. They're just following their GPS. So there was one in here. It was in the suburb of Boston where now, Joe, did you grow up in Boston or you just lived in Boston?
Sure. So I grew up in Easton, which is, I don't know, like 20 miles south. And I hung out in Boston on the weekends in high school. And then for college, I went away. I went down to New Bedford, which is almost Cape Cod, but not yet Cape Cod. And hung out in Providence, Rhode Island a lot. But then post-college, I moved to Somerville, which is, I count it as Boston because the subway goes there.
Sure.
You know, like we're talking, you could walk to Harvard University. It's just the next town after Cambridge.
And that's where I was born.
That's right.
Right.
You were born in Boston at St. Elizabeth's Hospital.
Oh, neat. Yeah.
My grandmother.
And then I lived with Grammy in Newburyport. Then we chose to live here.
Yeah, he's lived in 3 places.
Oh, cool. Yeah, because y'all are in Portland.
Yeah, because we lived with my mother-in-law for 2 years to save money so we could buy our own house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, we love Boston. Well, so in this article, it talks about a woman. She was not paying attention, and she drove right onto a commuter rail track, and she barely managed to haul her kids out before the Fitchburg local smashed the car to scrap metal. Not safe at all. So another one is in Alaska. A driver also mindlessly obeying a device steers her car off a dock straight into Prince William Sound. Just crazy, crazy stuff.
If you drive off the dock into the water, make sure your windows are all the way up when it falls in so you don't drown.
Well, that's true. You could do it that way, or you could try to get them down real fast so that you can sort of get out real quick. But anyway, yeah. So again, let's be safe out there using our GPS because, it's just not a good thing. You gotta watch where you're going, not just watching the GPS.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I remember when I got my license, my grandfather bought me an atlas. And he's like, you have to have this in the car. And we do. We have the DeLorme one for Maine, and Johnny loves reading it in the back seat. But it's one of those things where I remember this was the summer of 2012. We drove to New Jersey to go to my uncle's birthday party. And while we were there, we were like, oh, we got to go see like the cake guy who makes the cakes in New Jersey, the cake boss guy. So we're using GPS for the first time in our life. And it tells us where to go. And we were just going in circles. It's like, get off the highway, get on the Sky Bridge Road. big loop, back on the highway, back on the Sky Bridge Road.
Oh
Big
my!
loop. We did the same loop like 3 times before we're like, okay, that's it. Let's just break out a map.
It's not working. Time to break out a map. Yeah. So that's something that we were in Colorado, and something else you don't think about is if you're relying on a GPS or you're relying on like a Waze app or anything like that, it doesn't work if you don't have signal.
Yeah.
So we were at we stopped at a little state park in Colorado because we visited it, and a guy had a map he gave me for Colorado, and so we actually used that map to get back to Denver. So pretty funny how we still, and it's good to know how to use a map. So I'm glad Johnny studies. Johnny, that's what I did as a kid. I always loved to look at maps because maps are so cool looking because all the cool things you can see in a map.
Yeah, like sometimes you can read things. Sometimes you see where you live, and you find where Great White Sharks live. Like you can live in North America. Great White Sharks live in North America.
Very good. Yes, you live in North America. Yes, very good.
It's from Could a Shark Do Gymnastics? At the back of the book, it says has more science about sharks.
Oh, okay. Very cool.
And then it says his great white shark is pointing where he lives. Can you say where you live? And I live where the great white shark is pointing.
Oh, very cool. I see. Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and dive into the show topic for tonight, and that's Johnny and his geocaching. So, Johnny, tell me a little bit about how you first learned about geocaching.
Just that Mama tells me that it goes and finds a box or a bottle or something cool in the wood, hoods with stuff. So that's how I learned.
Yes, that's wonderful. Yeah, so that's something, Danno, I really appreciate about you, is being able to involve the kids in getting out and finding geocaches, and so we'll jump back to your dad then. When did you learn about geocaching, Danno?
So I watched a movie like many people. It's not a good movie, but everyone finds out about geocaching because of the movie Splinterheads.
Yes.
And in this movie, the geeky guy working at the carnival has the hots for, the tough girl with the tattoos that smokes and doesn't care about the rules.
Right.
And she takes him geocaching. Then she dives off a cliff and finds one underwater. And I was like, that's so cool. And I'm talking to my brother-in-law about it. And that was probably around Labor Day weekend of 2012, I think. No, 2011. Labor Day weekend of 2011. So I tell him about it. And he tells me all about geocaching. I assumed he was a geocacher. Turns out he's never done it.
Oh, wow.
But he bought me a GPS for Christmas that year. So Christmas Day 2011 was our first time geocaching.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Well, let's talk, Johnny, about your first geocache, and we're actually going to show a picture of it for all of y'all watching on YouTube. So Danno's going to pull that one up, but while he's doing that, I'll tell you the GC on it, and then Johnny, you can tell me a little bit about it. But there you are. It's a GCXM3J, and there's the photo Danno's got of him and Johnny.
The little boy's me.
Yeah, you were.
That is you.
Half old, and you were holding a travel bug.
Yeah.
That's very cool. So,
and the geocache was really hard to find because it was a pretend rock, and it was in the middle of 10,000 rocks.
Oh, I bet. It looks like there's rocks everywhere. Well, that is so cool. Well, how old were you in that picture when you found your first geocache? Do you know? Do you remember how old you were?
Yeah, 2.
16 months.
16 months. Wow. It's so and
that,
look at you. Yeah.
and that's 1.5. It's
What?
1.5,
Yes.
so I'm almost due.
I'm gonna have to pull up the other one while we talk about his brother. So I'll search for that one.
Yeah, search for the picture for Wyatt. If you want to go back, you can't go back to your screen. That's fine. So yeah, you're all bundled up because it was cold. So was that one in Boston?
It was in Newburyport. We were
Okay.
living with my mother-in-law. Actually, no, we weren't living with her yet, but we were visiting for Christmas. And Newburyport is like the last or second to last town before you hit the New Hampshire border, right off of 95.
Sure. Yep. I've been up there a few times.
Yeah. And if you go down the sword place and you see a yellow house really close to the start, that would be my Grammy.
Oh, wonderful. So does Grammy still live in the same place?
Yeah.
So we're trying to get her to move to Maine.
Oh, okay.
She's staying in the house because she likes Newburyport.
Oh,
she really wants to stay at her house, but he also wants to live with me. But I want to stay with Mama and Dada at Maine.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, hopefully, you get to see her often, and maybe she might move to Maine. So Johnny, when you go geocaching, who do you go geocaching with? Who goes with you?
Usually Daddy.
Okay.
Usually because his Daddy loves going geocaching, so usually
he does.
Dada.
Now,
usually it's just the whole family.
The whole family. So that would be Wyatt. Would come along as well.
Yeah, I'm still looking for a good photo.
That's okay. So and Mama.
Dada and me.
And Buddy.
Buddy does it usually.
Yeah, he's not so good.
He only been geocached for 1 or 2 times.
Oh, okay. Is Buddy your dog?
Yeah, it's really hard to take a hound into the woods. Right. You're trying to find a geocache, and he's trying to take you water skiing. Right.
He wants to go somewhere else. Mm-hmm. He's not quite. he's not picking up on the.
Like Buddy is half hound, half eagle.
Oh, okay.
Well, we've been told he's a Basset Beagle mix. We've also been told he's a Basset Australian Shepherd mix. We don't know. He's just all hound. He's
all hound. He's a mix. A Heinz 57 is what
I know. He's a lone hound. Just like in The Secret Life of Pets, the Buddy character is known likes to be rubbed. Just like Buddy here.
Very cool.
Like the Buddy inside there.
Yeah. So did you like that movie, Secret Life of Pets? Because you probably saw that not too long ago because it just came out, right? So did you see it recently?
Not yet.
No,
I'm hoping.
No,
you haven't seen it yet.
We can't find it. But Dada and me, Dada thinks we can only watch it at the movie theater.
That's right. I tried to find it on the internet, and it said it's still playing.
Oh, okay. So you just got to find the right. Okay. Very cool.
I'm hoping, fingers crossed, on his birthday, because I took his birthday off from work. So hopefully we can see it then.
Well, good. Well, that's awesome. Well, Johnny, what are some geocaches that come to mind when you think about what are some cool ones that you found?
Like the one up high, really high.
Oh, you found one. Okay. Now tell me more about that one. How did you if it was really up high, what did you do to get it? Did you use a ladder?
No. Dada and me, Dada tried to get up and then he found it and I wanted to take something. I found a big soft chain with 2 faces. It was 2 boots, so I took that. But
okay.
The way I got up there is I climbed up.
Cool.
Like boom, 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 boom,
wow.
boom, 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 boom.
Well, that is awesome. So you so I assume Dad's there to kind of keep an eye on things.
Yeah.
And now
so
you
when
get to
I went down, I didn't need any help. I like this. Boop, 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 boop.
So you were very careful. I'm hoping
Yeah.
when you did that. Well, very
I
cool.
did not even get a boo-boo.
Oh, very good.
This many boo-boos and this many slips.
Yeah, 0, huh? Well, 1, 2,
3
3.
slips, hips, and 0 boo-boos.
0 boo-boos. Oh, that's awesome. Well,
Just
what is what?
Whoa.
Yeah. So what? I think I know the answer to this, Johnny. But go ahead and tell me, what size geocache do you like? Do you like to find the really, really small ones, or you like to find the really big ones?
I like to get medium size.
Okay.
Well, that geocache I was talking about was like it was a sandwich container. Very bad
Okay.
geocache container.
Yeah. So
People might think it might be trash.
oh, I know. That's yeah. You know, they need to be kind of better labeled so that it says geocache on it. That would be better.
Yeah, but it hasn't been trashed yet.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I know it's probably fun.
I think they didn't. I think they knew it was a geocache because it was hidden, and they looked down. They took the lid off, and there was lots of geocache toys.
Oh,
so
okay.
It was a geocache.
Oh, very cool. Yeah. So, what are some things that you've found? Do you remember any of the geocaching swag you found? Have you found some cool stuff?
Well, Dada every time there is his the things that you travel, the travel bug.
Yes.
Every time there's a geocache with a travel bug in, Dada takes a travel bug.
Oh, that's good. He's a good geocacher. He moves it on to another location.
Well, I remember 2 of the geocache toys. There are two kinds of geocache. The first one I was talking about, and the second one I didn't. So the second one I didn't tell you was a toy lizard. The first one I already told you. It was two-faced Sopkin. And it was ginormous.
Yes, that's very cool.
That's a big Sopkin. Sopkins are usually tiny.
Yeah.
Small.
Now, did you one time find a plastic snake in a geocache? Do I remember you finding? No. Okay. Just the lizard.
Christmas that just went by.
No, that was a rubber snake.
Yeah, rubber snake. Oh, not plastic. I'm sorry, rubber snake. Okay. So that's kind of
one rubber snake and one half plastic, half rubber lizard.
Oh, okay.
That I already told you about.
Okay, very cool.
I didn't say it was half plastic, half rubber. I didn't say that. The
tail
was rubbery, but the rest was just still.
Oh, I got you. It was more hard. It was hard. It wasn't like real flexible, probably.
Only the tail.
I found the photo. I found the photo you were looking for.
Okay, cool. No, go ahead.
Yeah, so it took a while because what happened was I went to the cache log and the photo wasn't there. And when I got rid of my iPhone and went back to a flip phone a couple months ago to save money, and I decided to go back to GPS instead of smartphone caching, I closed my Instagram because you can't Instagram from a computer, only a phone or a tablet. So I had to go to my wife's Facebook page to then find the photo. But
well, that's good.
Wawa looks really cute. He's like sleeping. He's kind of sleeping in the picture.
Okay, so Danno, you're gonna switch it over. So there you go. Ah, there we are.
See why he's kind of sleeping.
He is. Well, he's only. How old was he in that picture?
33 hours.
33 hours old.
And getting his first geocache.
So cute.
Now nobody ever got back to me from Geocaching HQ. I understand you're kind of friends with this guy, Rock Chalk, but
yes,
I searched the forums and I'm pretty sure it was 50 or 60 something hours was the old record, and Wyatt's got the new record.
Yes. That's awesome. Yeah, I was going to ask you about that because I was wondering, we talked about this before. It's like, is he the youngest? We're not sure. We need to do some checking. But well, that is awesome. So yes, we've confirmed we don't have any others. So Wyatt is the youngest geocacher ever. So that's awesome.
Wow.
Very cool. Well, what do you like, Johnny, about geocaching? What are some?
You get to find them, and you don't know if there's gonna be toys in there or not. It's just always a surprise of what place and what thing and what thing is inside. It's just always a mystery.
Yeah,
it is.
Usually we find like boxes, and hence usually we find like jars and stuff.
Oh, jars. Yeah, there's sometimes the containers are cool.
Yeah, like sometimes you can see a geocache container that kind of looks like trash, but isn't, because it has like some wrapper around it, and it's like Minecraft. That's
right. Sometimes people use different kinds of duct tape to cover them up with.
Sometimes it's like Minecraft.
Oh, okay, yeah, Minecraft. Yeah, that's funny. Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
It's kind of Minecrafty, only it doesn't have Steve or a creeper. So do not hit a creeper. If you hit a creeper, you should run really far. So he doesn't blow you up. So,
right.
So make sure you hit him, then you run away really fast, like,
I got a question for you, Johnny.
And then he'll go like,
If you were to go hide a geocache, what kind would you hide?
I would hide a ammo can.
Oh, such a good geocacher, Johnny. Hide an ammo can. And would you leave just the logbook in it, or would you?
I'll put logbook and toys because I love toys.
Yes, very cool.
There's actually a video of before we started our YouTube channel, but it is on our channel. There's a video from a year ago where I hit a puzzle cache.
I remember that.
And Johnny's in the video because he picked the hiding spot. He hit the ammo can.
I remember this. That was very cool. Well, what?
I don't think you remember the whole thing, but maybe we'll post it later.
Okay, very good. So I'm going to ask you a hard question, Johnny. So be ready here. So, what else? What else about geocaching do you like other than the cache? What else is there about going out and geocaching do you like?
Just going out, finding something, and having fun. That's
Very
what
good.
It's all about, having fun and enjoying the outdoors.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I was thinking he might mention. So, with the weather up there, do you guys just kind of brave it and bundle up really well and head out even if it's winter?
Of course.
Yeah. When it's winter, I have to jump to root to root or thing to thing.
Do you
remember? Just one way, or maybe but because it's really hard running and walking in snow, it's really hard.
Yeah.
That's true. We don't get much snow down here, so that's something that that's neat that you do.
Well, here in our part of North America, we get a lot of snow.
Yeah. So
it's like sometimes we try to open the door, we see it, and then there's like a ginormous snowball there. So we had to kick the door. So so it booms the snowball like you kick those things like creeper, and then it blows up instead of it's a ginormous snowball, and then
I think we switched
gets
gears
destroyed.
Here.
Yeah. Well, I remember Johnny's first geocache. It was in the single digits that day.
Wow.
Mama only let us find 3 because it was so cold. And then I found 2 more when we got back to Boston that day.
Oh, okay.
Do you know where Gary lives? I wonder what geocaching where he lives is like.
I live in Texas, so it's usually very hot. Although in the winter, it can be kind of cold. But what's interesting is that, we need to get out. I tell Susan we need to get out more, even though it's cold. So I appreciate the fact that even though it's very cold up there sometimes, that Danno, you get everybody. Well, I don't know if you get everybody out, but at least you and Johnny will get out. Or does Mama come along too?
Of course, yeah. Like she
So
jokes
why
around.
won't?
She
Because
says,
it's too cold for
I remember
babies.
Mama used to like what she calls
Okay.
princess caching.
Oh, okay.
Princess caching was all park and grabs, but she's become very adventurous and she comes in the woods with us, and
Good.
she just has to do it her way. I remember when we first met, we did a lot of bicycle riding, and she would always be in flip flops and a dress.
Is your wife also from the Northeast, or?
Yeah, so Heather grew up in Newburyport. So
Okay.
she grew up like 30 to 45 minutes north of Boston, where I grew up about 20 minutes south, and we met in Boston.
Okay. So Johnny, how far away from home? Do you remember finding a cache that's been far away from home, or how far away have you been when you found one? Have you been on on a vacation?
I have had a geocache in Newburyport.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we just have to walk really far.
Where did you DNF geocaches because you didn't speak the language?
I don't know what DNF
Did not
even
find.
means.
Did not find.
Yeah, where did we not find geocaches? Because we didn't. We didn't speak the language, so we couldn't read the cache page. And B, we were trying to do it on smartphones. And we're in a whole nother continent.
So you're in a different country and continent. Where were y'all?
So sometimes, like when we couldn't find that pretend rock.
Remember what country where we went to visit? Where
what country?
Your friends who just sent you Legos for your birthday? Where do they live? Begins with a G. Said it earlier today.
Was it Germany?
Yes.
It was Germany.
So you were in Germany and having a little trouble finding a geocache. I can understand that.
I thought so William and me, he thought it was at the big patent boat.
Yeah, so the problem with geocaching in another country and you don't speak the language is A, you can't read the hint that tells you it's on the water fountain, even though your app tells you that it's inside a building about 150 feet away.
Oh boy.
And B, I'm just going to blame it all now on Nick Hubbard because he should have invented Cachly 3 summers ago so that I would have found that geocache.
So, Nick, you are responsible for Team Pugatch not finding one because you did not invent Cachly in time. I'll pass that on to Nick. I'll let him know.
Yeah, he's a great guy. I was beta testing when I did have an iPhone.
And, did you really? Cool.
And I love caching by smartphone because it's easy and it helps with, pictures and trackables. But now that I'm back on the GPSR, I love that even more. And my wife still has an iPhone and she uses Cachly now. So it's nice that she's on the phone, I'm on the GPS, and we work together to figure stuff out.
It's nice to have both. It really is. I'm still trying to learn how to use this touch we talked about before. The Z-Trex touch I'm still struggling with, and I probably should not have purchased a touch because I think like what you got, I think was a better idea. Although I've heard there's problems with that Oregon.
Oh, I went with the 20X.
Okay. Well, I've heard recently some discussion about the 700 having some issues, or 750s, and so. But yeah, so it is good, and I don't know how old Johnny will need to be. I know you hand him the GPS, but is he kind of? Do you put it on compass at that point usually for him, or?
I put it on compass mode before I give it to him, and I did that with a smartphone as well. I prefer to cache by compass mode only.
Yeah, once you get
Yeah.
to where you're going.
Once
kind of
I
thing.
get on the trail, I'm only compass mode. What I struggle with the GPS is the buttons aren't as intuitive. So it's like
Mhm.
you open up the cache and now you see a map, which is super zoomed out. Then you got to
Right.
hit the go button. Then you got to go back to the main page. Then you got to go back to the cache. Then you
Yeah.
got to go to the compass. And it's a lot of extra steps. But
I agree.
I did it on when I had a Magellan, it was easier, but the Magellan was not compatible with Apple computers. So actually I had to go from Boston to my mother-in-law's house, which was 1 hour by train because we didn't have a car then, just so I
Right.
could put caches on the GPS using her PC to then go back to Boston and find them.
Wow. That's dedication right there. Yeah.
It's like one big circle. They
Yeah.
had to go one ginormous circle.
But it was all right because we visited her every Sunday. So, and like even now, like I run a pocket query every Friday, 1,000
Mhm.
caches closest to us that we haven't found, and I just
Sure.
refresh it every Friday morning.
Oh, that's a good idea. And that way you always have you've like fresh items to go after. So that's
Exactly.
great.
What did we find the other night? Johnny, do you remember?
Hmm.
We did a puzzle, and it took us to what kind of place?
Where took go? Took go to the
It had
ocean or
yummy treats.
oh,
Oh, the ice cream's good.
Yeah.
ice cream. Woo!
This had to be the best puzzle for kids. I gave him a favorite point because it was a kid-friendly puzzle. It's called
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah. Where's Waldo was the puzzle.
Okay.
And if you look at the one picture, it's from a Where's Waldo book.
Oh, very cool. I love
And
Where's
if you
Waldo.
scan, there are numbers. And the
Ah.
numbers tell you where the final is, which is really just like across the street. And
Right.
it just happens to be an ice cream store.
Oh, that's
So-
cool.
We did the puzzle and got ice cream.
So
You know,
it was behind a sign.
was it? Oh,
Mhm.
very cool. You know,
But there was a lot of signs.
I
They
wish
all
that.
said the same thing.
Oh, did it?
It's hard.
I wish people would use that attribute more, or at least plan, because we talked about before about kid-friendly caches, and that's something I was aware of before, but after you and I talked on the show, trying to be very aware. Can a kid find this? Is this kid appropriate? Kid appropriate geocache. So when it is, I try to. I always make sure and put the attribute, hoping that people will, maybe look at the attribute and use it when they're trying to find caches that they can take with their kids.
And it's always hit or miss. Like, I'm pretty dangerous when it comes to geocaching with my child.
Right.
And, I've definitely done things that I shouldn't have with Johnny while geocaching. Things that could have made us fall or get injured, get wet in the middle of the winter, like crossing swamps when there's snow on the ground and using
We
floating
wouldn't
logs as our bridge to get from A to B. Bad
Ooh,
idea.
Bad.
I've done it.
I
I can't promise that I won't do it again. But, like one of the geocaches we found Friday night, the one right before the ice cream, same hider, said it was child friendly, and I disagree because it's another puzzle, and we got the solution, and you have to go, you park at a hospital and you go down this dirt trail to these rocks where people will go into the ocean with their kayaks. And I DNF'd it a week ago because I couldn't get even closer than 40 feet to it. It happened to be low tide when we went this Friday. I still had to jump 3 feet from one rock cliff to another. And, maybe when they hit it, it was different, but I'm thinking erosion, or maybe the trail, one of the other trails was overgrown, but there's no way he could have got it.
Yeah, that's definitely not kid friendly. In fact, I'm wondering if that's something that you probably need to put the little buster through it.
Yeah, the don't kid.
The no kid friendly. So, Johnny, were you going to say something? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say sometimes I use roots for a blitz.
Yes.
Like one time there was blitz and there was no blitzes for Dada Dada tried to jump over it, and I couldn't jump over. I saw that was too far for me to jump over, so I used the roots for blitz. I jumped on the roots, then I grabbed them, then I just tried steadied before I
Mhm.
fall into the mud. Then I went up. When I got back, I went on the route and I fall into the mud.
Oh my. Well, but,
It wasn't really dirty. It was just
Uh-huh.
dirty water.
well, that was pretty smart though to use the roots. That was smart thinking.
Do you
So-
remember what happened when you poked something with a stick while geocaching?
Uh-oh.
What happened?
Remember the attack,
From
Oh,
what?
no.
the flying things that sting?
The bee.
Yeah, we got attacked by
Oh.
bees. So
Oh,
of course,
no.
Sometimes.
you know, Mama and me, faces in our phones, trying to find a geocache, not paying
no.
attention,
Yeah.
and I don't know if it was in the air or on the ground, and he stepped on it or what. But all I know is Johnny's poking things with a stick.
Sure.
And
That's
next thing I know, there's 20, 30,
no.
yellow jackets or whatever on us. And
Oh no.
I'm using my bare hands, pulling them off his head. And we had to
Did you-
run about a mile to get to the car.
Oh my. That's not
Yeah.
good.
We learned our lesson, bug spray. And
Yeah,
don't
bug
poke it with a stick.
Don't poke it with a
Yeah.
stick.
Only poke. The only
Oh.
thing poke with a stick is a bug stuck on the ground
Yeah.
that's trying to get to you, to bite you, and
Mhm.
make you itch. So that's the only thing you should poke with stick. So he dies before he gets out of that sticky thing on the ground.
Wow. Yes, that would be bad. So, all right. So let me ask you this, Johnny. So, sometimes when you're not geocaching, what are some other things you like to do?
I like to be on my iPad or play games with Dada.
Mm-hmm. Very
What's
good.
Just
your
spending
favorite
time
board
with-
game?
What's your
Sorry.
favorite?
Sorry.
Oh, you like to play Sorry? Okay.
He
Yeah.
is ruthless at sorry.
Is he really? Well, that's
I'm
awesome.
really good at it.
You're really good at it. Okay.
I
Well, maybe-
thought you would think I'm trying to say sorry to you.
Oh no
Okay,
no.
the game is called Sorry because
Sorry.
sometimes if you get the word sorry, you're gonna say sorry. I'm gonna sorry you. Because you're gonna take someone away and put him back to the start.
Oh, that's
But-
right. 'Cause
but
you gotta
remember,
start all over again.
If Dada catches you and you're a kid, then when you get a sorry him.
Very
That's
good.
what you do. So if someone sorry you, then sorry him. Sometimes Mama has to sorry but she's not trying to because Dada has all them in start. So,
Mhm.
but that's okay. I don't sorry her. When Dada gets out and I say sorry, I sorry him. The closest one to his home.
Just get him.
So
That's
Mama
great.
and me win.
Oh, that's fun.
Well,
I'm glad you-
usually I do when I get Dada.
Well, good
about-
job.
What
But
Good
other-
job,
usually at
Johnny.
the end, I put all them in home so everyone wins like that.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. Thank you.
What
Well, thank you, Johnny.
Yeah, what else do you like besides
What are some other things you play?
iPad and board games?
Yeah.
Like spending time with YY and Mama in the playroom
Why is why?
and
Yep.
and watching some Lego Star Wars cartoons with Dada.
Well, that's mentioned Star Wars. That's interesting because you've got your birthday coming up soon that we talked about before the
And
show
it's
started.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Do you know I have a pinata on my birthday and it's Darth Vader's head?
Oh, okay.
The pinata is Darth Vader's head. There was also a hamburger pinata, but my birthday was Star, so I chose Darth Vader's head.
Okay, so that's the pinata for the upcoming birthday because your birthday is in 9 days, right?
Yeah. So I'm gonna be happy it's close. I'm gonna be
Awesome.
I'm 5. So
You'll be 6. That's awesome.
yeah.
Well, that is wonderful. So
It's
I'm
like
so glad.
every time I'm close to my birthday, my favorite number changes to what year I'm gonna to how old I'm gonna be. Like now, like I was 5 and it was my favorite number, and it's close to my birthday. Like now, so my favorite hit number is 6.
Yep, about to be 6. Well, that is so wonderful. Well, thank you so much for telling me about your experiences as a geocacher. In fact, we're going to switch gears. We're going to talk about a product that your dad has with him. He's going to show us in a second. But the product review of the week, sponsored by Cachly. Cachly, the foremost geocaching app, and it can be found at cach.ly. And this week's product comes from Johnny and Danno, and he's going to show us the product. There it is, for those that are watching, and that is called a tick key and tick remover. So, Danno, tell me a little bit about, because we don't get ticks down here in the South much. So tell us a little about a tick key and what do you do with it?
So the tick key, from what I understand, was actually invented for removing ticks off docks. But it works great on people too. That's what the packaging says.
Right.
So I never really experienced ticks growing up. I don't know why. Just never did. Living south of Boston. As soon as we moved north of Boston, they're everywhere.
Wow.
And they're hard to get off. Like, they're ones that I didn't know I had for maybe a day or two. And, you're using tweezers and a sewing needle to try to like dig them out. It's like trying to get a splinter out. It's not fun. Right. So I saw the tick key on geocaching's website. At the time, they were called Groundspeak, and it was they're $6 on their website, which is $1 cheaper than Amazon. And I liked it because it's orange, my favorite color, and it has the geocaching logo on the back. Although mine's pretty worn away.
Very cool. Yeah.
Keys have been rubbing against it forever.
Dada, can I tell you why I like it? I like it because it's kind of goldy, and because it removes ticks, and I do not like ticks.
Yeah. So we've used it on Johnny. We've used it on Mama. So Wyatt did not get ticks. So we went a few weeks ago, and everyone had 4 or 5 ticks each on them.
Oh my.
Wyatt had none, thankfully.
Yeah, because it's carrots, it's tall, so the ticks can reach him eat because it's too far from the carrots, and it's too tall sometimes.
Oh, okay. Very
and
cool.
Part of it's like we didn't use bug spray above our waist, which we should have done. And I'm really bad about dressing properly for geocaching. I like to go geocaching in shorts and Crocs.
Oh my gosh! See, I will not do that ever again because of just getting poison ivy and different things. So I have special pants that I wear now. But yeah, I understand you're taking a big risk with just shorts on. So,
but yeah, how this works is it's pretty easy. You've got hold it up. You got this shape. The shape kind of looks like
teardrop.
a upside down teardrop. Almost looks like a waypoint marker.
It does. That's what I was thinking. It looks just like a waypoint.
And you want to get the tick in the bigger part.
Okay.
And let's see if I can kind of do this backwards. Is weird.
I know.
And so if the tick is in there and you push it hard against your skin, and you pull it away, the tick will get trapped in the little point and just fly in the air off of you.
Oh, okay, cool.
I've used this easily 20 times in the past 4 years.
Wow.
And only once did it take 2 tries.
Oh, wow. Okay, so that really does, it works much better than tweezers or anything else.
And the problem with tweezers is if you use tweezers, it might, half of it's still in you, half of it's not. I've heard that if you do, tweezers could be bad because you're getting the bad stuff, all that gunk in you. Yeah. You don't want Lyme. Our dog, buddy, he's got Lyme. They thought I did last summer. They still don't know.
Okay. So, so tick key. So we put the there's a link in the show notes to buy one. So yeah, definitely if you live in an area that has ticks, I've heard that is the best thing is that tick key, because just like you said, it just the way it's made and designed, it really has that kind of shape to get the tick off of you. So
and depending on where you live, you need it. That's why it's on my keys year round. You can get ticks in December. You can get ticks in January. We had a pretty mild winter this year, and I got a tick in January.
Ooh, yeah. Well, awesome. So thank you for that, Danno and Johnny, the tick key. So that's awesome product. So, so let me mention our giveaway winner from last week. I had mentioned or had a giveaway, and I have a little set of path tags from Geo Woodstock. I got an extra couple sets. So I've got one I'm giving away this week. And the winner, sorry, Danno, you were entered, but you didn't get to win on this one.
It's okay.
I used random.org, and it picked Team Aviju. So Edwin, I need send me an email with your address. So Team Aviju won this week, and then of course next week we'll find out who wins Danno's. Send me the note, and then Danno, of course, I'll send off the information to you to give away your path tag for next week.
Speaking of next week, I'm really excited for next week's show because next week's guest is one of our biggest inspirations for doing our own vlog. Like, obviously, Joshua is a huge inspiration. We love Joshua. We're trying to get him to come spend a weekend at our house so we can go cashing with him. It's on our bucket list.
Yes.
He's on everybody's bucket list. But your next guest, I discovered when they started doing the Geo challenges a couple of months ago.
Yes.
And you know, I see somebody recording on a bicycle with a camera, and I'm like, I love bicycles. I love geocaching. And we just started talking, and we talk probably every couple of days on Twitter and YouTube, and such a huge video mentor for us.
Oh, yes. So next week's show number 9 will be geocaching Katie, and we're going to talk geocaching and fitness and just in general, probably a lot about her vlog. You know, it's interesting. You mentioned her, and Joshua. Joshua made a comment to me the other day too about having her on. And what's interesting about it is that something that Joshua mentioned. This is a big compliment for Katie. Is that he said that she is one of the best at editing her vlog, her vlog, and just the way it comes out, very professional. So, big compliment to Katie. And so, we're going to talk about her vlogging, and that's something too. You know, we didn't really get to talk too much about tonight, but definitely check out Danno's channel and watch his videos. We joked about. I just recently watched your lamppost cache, which is hysterical. You got to go see this, and you need to let Sunny and Sandy know that that video is out there because it's hysterical. So. And then, so the week after that, I have on Sarah Murphy. The geocachingjunkie.com is her site. She does a blog with a B. She doesn't really do vlogging, but she has a great blog. So everybody check out her blog. She's from, and that was the answer to this week's question, she's from Belfast, Northern Ireland. So we'll have it's fun to talk to Sarah. And the week after that, I have scheduled Chris Umfenauer, whoever that guy is. So I guess I'll have him on the show. I'm not sure if he can.
I heard he doesn't even like podcasts.
No, I don't think. You know, he's kind of uppity. He wants me to send him a bunch of green peanut M&Ms as he has to have on the show. But I don't know if I'm gonna do that or not. So we'll see. Chris might be on the show in 3 weeks. He wants to talk about the Going Ape event in up there in Washington, up in the northwest part of the country, which, I don't know who lives up there. I'm not sure, but
nobody even wants to go there. Like, why would you go to Washington? There's nothing there.
I know. And they even have a show. I mean, I don't know if Chris is ever on there, but it's Caching in the Northwest. And anyway, no, I'm kidding. So
and then there's that store too, where you buy your stuff.
Yeah, that's up there too.
No, it's not Walmart. It's Cash Advance. Yes, Cash Advance.
Cash Advance.
Yeah, Cash Advance is great. 2 good friends of mine. They were co-workers of mine when I lived in Massachusetts. They are they decided like midweek they're going to go to Seattle this weekend on like
Really?
randomly. We're going to go in a
Just
few
randomly.
days. They want to move there, and I got them into geocaching, and they both want to work for Geocaching HQ one day. But they didn't know about Cache Advance. And I was like, you got to stop in and visit Lisa. Like
Exactly.
you have to. You can't just go to Washington and not.
Check out the Cache Cave. Well, Johnny and Danno, thank you so much for being on the show tonight.
Well,
Thank you. Johnny wants to say something. Yeah.
Thank you, Johnny.
I'm a big kid in a booster chair because if I sit down, I'm like this tall.
Oh, I know, but you were so good tonight. Very professional. And yeah, you can see where he's sitting. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, great stories, Johnny. Wonderful talking to you, and we'll have to have you again. I'll have you on again sometime. Danno gets started a whole new streak on my show. This will be your first one. We'll have to schedule you a second one because I haven't had a second guest on yet. So.
Oh. What are you doing in about 10 minutes? We can do a second show.
That's awesome. So, well, that'll do it for tonight. We hope you enjoy the show. Email me your comments at geocachetalk@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at geocachetalk and Facebook at facebook.com/geocachetalk. The show can be found on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, well as the Geocache Talk website. Please go out and check out the website. There's some cool things out there. All the product reviews we've ever done are out there. We also I put out some videos, so please check out my videos. Tell me what you like about them, and tell your friends about the show. Ask them to subscribe so they too can hear the show on a weekly basis. And until next week, don't just talk about geocaching. Go geocaching like Team Pugatch and Johnny and Danno. So thank you. Good night, everybody. Go ahead.
Get lost with Team Pugatch.
Don't tell them the answer.
Oh my gosh, you gave it away. All right. Good night, everybody.
I like saying that. I love saying that.
I stopped the audio. Let me stop the video. So that was awesome.